All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where Errol Spence Jr. shoots a message to Chris Colbert about a potential fight with Frank Martin, coming off Chris Colbert's win over Rayo Valenzuela on the David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant undercard. Very fun conversation, and honestly, man, gotta say I agree with them. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, man, where I get an opportunity to do a video about a fight that took place this weekend. I had a lot of laughs and giggles about it because a whole lot of people were really mad about the outcome of the Chris Colbert versus Rayo Valenzuela Jose Valenzuela fight on the undercard of the David Benavidez and Caleb Plant pay-per-view that took place this weekend. Errol Spence Jr. and a friend of Errol Spence Jr.'s also both tweeted out something to Chris Colbert, who, if you recall, had been in conversations, at least Twitter type conversations, about fighting Frank Martin. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also, if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support for the channel. All right, so a lot of fun back and forth because on Saturday night, I called the fight on the YouTube channel, on this channel, for Caleb Plant and David Benavidez, and all of the fights from the prelims, all of the other fights on the main card, on the main pay-per-view card. Didn't do the preliminaries that took place over on YouTube, but I covered all of those fights. Had a really fun time talking about and going back and forth with boxing fans on the channel about it. But the one fight that I think I had the most fun with was the fight that took place between Chris Colbert and Rayo Jose Valenzuela, which was a terrific fight, man. Terrific fight. Valenzuela knocks down Chris Colbert in the first round. Looks like Rayo Valenzuela, looked like he hurt Chris Colbert several times in the fight, right? I was on pins and needles the whole time because I had predicted that I thought that Chris Colbert could win the fight. I can't recall if I made an official prediction or not, but there were a lot of people that were saying Valenzuela is going to get rid of Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert's trash. There's no way he can win the fight. And I was like, nah, Chris Colbert's a good fighter. I just think that he got caught out there not being prepared for Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia is a very, very good fighter. But anyway, so he goes up to 135, and of course, the scores are red, and the scorecards come out. I think 115, 114. Can't remember all three of the cards, but the scorecard of 115, 114 really sticks in my mind because when I got done adding up my card, I looked at it, I was like, oh, I got Chris Colbert winning this fight, 115, 114. Because, and the thing about the fight was that, when Rayo looked good. But whenever Rayo was not really going at Chris Colbert was going at him, scoring jabs, being more active, going to the body, right? It just, there was just several rounds in there where it really looked like Valenzuela, really won those rounds because of the punches that he was throwing and going unanswered by Chris Colbert. So anyway, man, big shocker, big shocker to everybody, but me, that Chris Colbert wins the fight. So, but after the fight, Errol Spence Jr. Puts out a tweet and basically says, man, if that had been Frank Martin, y'all would never be hearing from Chris Colbert again, right? So obviously, like many people, not particularly impressed by Chris Colbert's performance over Rayo Valenzuela. I mean, I don't understand why. I thought it was a good fight. I really did. It just seemed like Rayo was the bigger guy, and he definitely caught him with a shot that he didn't see when Chris Colbert got a little got a little overconfident in the first round, but whatever. This harkens back to the conversation that Errol Spence had with Chris Colbert when he was saying, yeah, okay, I would fight Frank Martin. And so he's like, man, look, dude, you might as well just stay away from Frank Martin. Now, the funny thing is, though, if you listen to Chris Colbert, people say Colbert. I read it the way that it's written, like Colbert, because it's French. I don't know if he's Haitian or not. Chris is Haitian or not, but typically Colbert is pronounced Colbert, but Colbert, not Colbert. But whatever. In the conversation afterwards, in the press conference afterwards, Chris Colbert was asked about Frank Martin. He said, yeah, man, I'll fight Frank Martin. If Frank Martin want to squeeze down and come down to 130 pounds to fight me at 130 pounds, yeah, I'll do it. But he said, he was like, nah, I came up for this fight. I got the win. Now I'm going back down to my weight class. And even talking about Las Vegas, Chris Colbert was like, nah, I'm not even trying to. I've lived my dream. I fought at the MGM in Vegas. Now put me back in the Barclays Center, right? And said how he wanted to get back and go get his titles back and get a shot against Hector Garcia, and really wanted the rematch with Hector Garcia, which I do believe is a much safer bet than Frank Martin, because if that was Frank Martin, more than likely Chris Colbert would have gotten done real nasty by Frank Martin, because Frank Martin is very, very, if he gets you hurt, more than likely he's going to get you up out of there. But he's also a lot higher skill. And I think he's also a bigger puncher, and most definitely a more clean and accurate puncher than Jose Valenzuela is. So that would have just been a big old recipe for disaster in that particular situation if that was Frank Martin. If that was Frank Martin against Chris Colbert. Now, but him going down to 130 pounds, I like it, man. I like it. I think that Chris Colbert looked like, he had a game plan. He looked like he looked more solid, I thought, in that particular fight. He's back on the winning track. I don't know if he's going to beat Hector Garcia, though. But guys like Gutierrez, I'm not sure who the other guys that right now have the other. I think Navrati is down there, man. He may have a hard time with Navrati. And Oscar Valdez, who are at 130 pounds. Those could be some good fights for Chris Colbert, but, more than likely he's not going to get those, because those fighters are over there on with Top Rank. But all in all, man, got to say I agree with Errol Spence, but I just wanted to take another opportunity to rub in that I was right about the Chris Colbert fight, even though there's a lot of people on live stream that do not want to give me credit for having called it correctly because they didn't like how the fight was scored. But hey, that's boxing. It is what it is. You know what I mean? You got to put your money where your mouth is, and if you would have put your money where your mouth is heading into that one, you would have lost your money and I would have won mine. But anyway, that's all I got to say on it, man. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.